they keep on stocking up on bullets. Now, I don't know. Well, this is also a WND story, WND.com. Feds keep on stockpiling ammo. Department of Justice soliciting bids for 9mm hollow point bullets. Now, I don't know what the Department of Justice or the Department of Homeland Security really needs hollow point bullets for if they're using most of this stuff for target practice. That's what they told us. Hey, yeah, we got all these new, agents running around. They need to practice their shots. We're not talking going to the doctor and getting a shot by a nurse. Ha, ha, ha. No, they got to be able to be more accurate when they're shooting their firearms. So we need a lot of practice. Well, if these people need that much practice, let me tell you, we're all in trouble, so we definitely need to have our own firearms. Because if they need that much practice, it means that they can't hit the broadside of a barn. I'm talking a big Amish barn, not a little New England barn. That's a lot of bullets to be practicing with. But the Department of Justice is seeking to purchase 95,000 rounds of 9mm hollow point bullets and has posted online a solicitation that requires bids to be submitted by April 30th. While such bullets are often used in law enforcement, the federal government's bulk purchase of ammunition in recent years, including a proposal to buy 1.6 billion bullets, has raised concerns about the government's need for such supplies. You think? Hello? Are they expecting a war? If they're expecting a war, what kind of war? I'm just asking the questions, folks. I don't necessarily have the answers, and I'm not going to get the answers from these jokers about any of this. We're not. But here's the other story. 3 shot in Chicago. City of, there's also, when you get one story that crawls across your news feed and you click on it, man, sometimes the trail never ends, it seems, with other related stories and information. I mean, I could probably have a whole show tonight based on gun control, anti-gun control, that kind of crap. I mean, there is so much stuff out there recently about guns. It's redonkulous. But here we go. 3 shot in Chicago, city of gun control. Weekend wounded, killed by firearms, hits 32. 32 people in a weekend in the city of Chicago. City where there, no gun, kind of like Washington, D.C. was before a federal judge shot him down. No guns. Not supposed to have any guns in Chicago. Chicago's like a gun-free zone. Gun-free zone, ain't no guns over here. No legal, law-abiding citizen got guns over here in Chicago. Come on over. All you criminals with guns, just come on. You'll be getting some shooting practice in. 2 men, 35 and 24, and a woman, 22, were shot and wounded Monday morning about a block from the University of Chicago's Hyde Park campus. Again, near a campus. Again, another gun-free zone. Are you getting the picture that I'm telling you that we need to do away with these gun-free zones? Because they're I'm going to be frank. Now, if you got little kids listening to the program right now, I'm going to give you the count of 3 to plug their ears. Now, because I'm about to say something that they should not hear. Now, I'm warning you. You got to count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Plug their ears. We got to get rid of these dumbasses who are trying to tell us and perpetrate this fraud upon the American people about guns. Because guns kill people. No, guns don't kill people. People kill people. It's just sometimes they use the weapon of choice to kill somebody is a gun. Sometimes the weapon of choice is a knife. Sometimes a weapon of choice is a bomb. Sometimes a weapon of choice is just their bare hands. And even sometimes a weapon of choice is a car. But we're not trying to ban cars. Well, I guess we are. I got a story about electric cars, so maybe we are trying to ban cars. But I mean, it's unbelievable. Well, you can unplug little kids' ears now. I mean, this is just unbelievable. The government has absolutely no logical need to ban guns from law-abiding citizens. The only reason they want to do it, logically speaking, is that they want control. Well, Rod, guns put our cops in danger. Well, no. Guns don't put our cops in danger. Our cops have guns. You know, too many laws, unnecessary laws, put our cops in danger. That's what really puts our cops in danger. We're always going to have crime. There always has been crime since the biblical days of Cain and Abel, the first murder. Look, that wasn't the first crime, as some people say. You know, there was crime in the Garden of Eden. That's why they got kicked out. There has always been crime. Somebody has always broken a law, either it be a law of man or a law of God. Thou shalt not murder. Well, Cain and Abel story, we know how that ended. There has always been crime. There is always going to be crime. Therefore, it means that there's always going to be criminals. There are always going to be people who are nothing but evil, no matter what you do with them. Therefore, people have the right to protect themselves from evil. This whole notion that the government will protect you because if you don't have a gun, then you won't get shot. We can look at Chicago and D.C. and see that is a bunch of bunk. Hello? Y'all ain't hearing me out there, are you? I mean, really? I mean, it's amazing. There's so many gun stories out there, and it's kind of interesting that they're all these stories are coming out on Earth Day. Hey, the Earth has a gun. The Earth has a few guns. Earth has a few loaded weapons. Mother Nature kills a lot of people. It's called hurricanes and tornadoes and volcanoes and earthquakes. Well, I guess maybe the earthquake is more like a bomb. But yeah, I mean, let's be real here. Yeah, tornadoes like a gun, that's for sure, because it targets things. It always seems like a tornado. We're heading into tornado season too, I do believe, right? Yes. So it always seems to target things. I don't know how those storm chasers do it. Maybe we should have gun chasers. People out there who are chasing down criminals with guns. Instead of everyday citizens, we should have gun chasers. Because we have storm chasers. They chase tornadoes to try to film them and learn about them and try to learn how to try to predict them and that type of stuff. Maybe we should have gun chasers. People who chase criminals with guns and to be able to better predict criminals with guns. Hey, they got these armored vehicles and everything. They might as well. I don't see a problem with it. If somebody's willing to, if somebody's willing to look down a tornado, which could pick up their little vehicle and toss it a mile or two, without even really blinking, not even slowing it down, then they should be able to stare down the barrel of a gun behind a bulletproof piece of glass, right? I would think so. I don't know, but yes, Chicago has some of the toughest gun control laws in the nation. But that hasn't kept the criminal element from firing off weapons with alarming frequency. Between Sunday afternoon and Monday morning, 14 people were shot and wounded in the city. And this is reported by the Chicago Tribune, not a conservative ragmag. Did you hear what I said? Not a conservative rag. It's not Fox News. In the latest, the 3 victims were sitting in their vehicle by an alley when a gunman approached and fired. The victims were injured but still ran into a nearby parking garage and were then transported to nearby hospitals. Now, I don't know how you can be sitting in your car, get shot, then get out of your car, and run to a parking lot where you get an ambulance. I guess that's normal behavior. Oh, I don't think I've ever been shot by a bullet, but I remember as a kid we used to play war and cops and robbers with BB guns. I've been shot by BBs before. And then after we grew up, we learned BBs could be dangerous too. I probably shouldn't mention that. Because there are parents out there that if you had a Daisy Red Ryder BB pistol, like in BB gun, like in A Christmas Story, and now you probably get it taken away. I'm sorry, kids. I probably shouldn't have mentioned that one, but yeah, I never actually had a BB gun, but there are a lot of kids in my neighborhood that had more than one. So it was no problem having a BB gun fight. Yeah, it was. Yeah, looking back on it, it was stupid. Yeah, we could have shot our eyes out. Nobody did, however. Nobody ever got really hurt, but they did sting if they hit you. So, but look, I'm obviously not advocating shooting people, not even with a BB gun, but unless, of course, they're a criminal threatening you or another innocent person, and then it's perfectly fine. In my book, it's perfectly fine to shoot a criminal in the act of committing a violent crime, to stop them from doing the crime, if that's what it takes. Look, they made the choice. I have no sympathy for a criminal. I'm not one of those lefty mamby-pamby, oh, look, he just had such a horrible upbringing. Look at this, the neighborhood. They can't, I don't care. The neighborhood didn't force him to do the crime that he's currently doing. He chose to do that. Now, granted, I know there are special circumstances and rare cases when somebody might do a crime in order to try to save a loved one because another criminal has a loved one, but that movie-style crap doesn't happen very often. So usually, the person does the crime because they want to. And don't tell me, well, I didn't want to do it. I had to. No, you wanted to do it. You didn't have to do a crime. You wanted to do it. Because otherwise, everybody who was as poor or destitute or down in their luck as you would commit a crime too. But everybody who's like you does not, because they choose not to commit a crime and they choose to do something else to get themselves out of that current situation. You, Mr. Criminal, decided to do a crime. So own up to it. Because if you do a crime in my house, you're going to get shot. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. That's just the fact. I'm going to defend myself. You only got one life. And I'm not going to wait for, black and white to show up to save me, because it ain't going to happen. And now there was just a news story today on the radio about a woman who died because she couldn't tell them where she was, and 911, the operator, couldn't pinpoint her by GPS type of location. They couldn't pinpoint where the phone call was coming from. The woman died. So why the hell am I going to depend on a fallible system to come to my rescue? They obviously didn't go to the rescue of those children at Sandy Hook in time. But I guarantee you, if there was a teacher or a cop or a resource officer that was trained and fully armed in that school when that shooter bust in, you would have had a lot less casualties. They would have put a stop to it before it got started. That kind of stuff it gets proven all the time. Criminal has gun, law-abiding citizen has gun. Bullets go flying, criminal goes down, crime is over. Plain and simple. There is no sympathy from me for criminals. Violent criminals. Absolutely none. We have a right, and it's enshrined in our Constitution, but that's an inalienable right given to us by God, that we have the right to protect our life, limb, and liberty. And we don't have to wait for somebody else to show up and be, the knight in shining armor to rescue us, because that's almost always too late. And I think history and facts around the country prove me right yet again.